I'm going to show the Sienta hybrid. So basically this is not a variant that you're able to find in Malaysia. You can see that the Toyota logo is finished with some blue color lines. At the bottom you can see the hybrid synergy drive logo. This is a Singapore spec. This part is whitish. Then here you can see that the chrome line runs from here like this, like that, and all the way it runs to the edge of the headlamp. For here, you realize another whitish thing. I think that this is probably for the DRL. But you can see that this part, it has the black color sideburn again. So it runs from here, it goes all the way to the radiator part, and then here you get some chrome linings. I think this one, right, it actually makes people to think that you are pretending that this is an Alpha or Wildfire. I think that this part is better off with maybe the whole thing should be black. You can see some sparkling particles. I don't know if you should call this sportiness or not. So basically the black color section runs from here all the way to the tail lights, and then you can see that for some of the areas here, right, they also added some black color finishing. I am sure that these brake lights are finished in LEDs, right, and this is a bulb as well, and the signal light is a normal bulb, and you get two mini fins here. I guess that these two mini fins are provided for aerodynamic purposes. Fuel cap is basically mounted on the left side. You can see the rubber over here, so this is for your sliding doors. The rims come with a dual tone design, so basically you can see some chrome linings over here, and you can see that the rim is a 5-bolt style. Okay, so you can basically add your T37s here, any Enkai rim, you know, any race rim. Despite being torsion beam, right, what you can see is that your car gets 4 disc brakes, so this is actually quite a safe thing. The braking should be very good. So basically, in order to open the door, right, pressing the button does not do anything. What you should do instead is that you are supposed to pull the door handle like this. Okay, you should pull harder. Right, so you can see that it goes all the way to the back smoothly enough. Okay, so I'm going to give you a look at the mechanism. Okay, so I'm not an expert with MPVs, so I'm just going to give you a walk around of how the components look like. Okay, can you see that? It says some Japanese wordings over here. So I think that this car, right, came from Japan. I think the dealer imported this Sienta hybrid from Japan. So you can see that here the Japanese wordings, they continue right over this side as well, and even on the seats, right, they give you some Japanese wordings as well. The visibility of this car is actually quite good because they actually mounted the side mirror on the door instead of at the side, so it actually gives you a big gap over here to see the objects in front. And over here you can see that they added 2 blades over here. These things are for aerodynamic purposes. Okay, so I just realized that this car doesn't have power boot, and then we currently have one of the seats folded down. One of the seat is below there. Look at how much of storage space you get. Okay, let's say if we fold down this seat as well, you can realize that actually the boot space of this Sienta hybrid is actually quite spacious. And, again, here you have some Japanese wordings as well. Right, so when you open the boot, right, you are given a lighting over here, and then you get some pockets over here as well. Okay, basically you have a small little cup holder right there, and you can also put your sunglasses. This is a mini speaker. Okay, you can see that the opening is actually a very small circle over here. The third row, it is only strictly a 2-seater, because what I can realize is that you don't actually get any seat belts mounted on the roof. One seat belt here and another seat belt located here as well. So what if you have 2 seats folded up? So basically this is how much of storage you have. Okay, and then for this part, okay, you can see that you actually get your tire repair kit. Okay, I think that's the jack. You're given more Japanese instructions. To be honest, this is how Toyota makes their reputation good, because you know, they just give you all the full instructions. Okay, so everything is very clearly stated out. Okay, as I said, there are no power adjustments, so you need to put your hand here to close the flap, right? The flap is actually a bit heavy. From the roof until the bottom, right, this is how tall the cover is, you know. From this end it goes all the way down to the bumper. And yep, so what this means is that if you are parking in a very tight space, right, so imagine this, if you open your rear cover, right, so it goes from here all the way to around this part. That means that if you are parking in a shopping mall, you are not supposed to park your backside facing the wall. What you should do is that you should park your head facing the wall, because basically if you park otherwise, you're not able to open up your trunk to store more things. And you can see that for here, right, the glass area, you don't actually get the option to actually open the upper half of the glass to put more things into your storage area, right? So basically these are the small little things that Toyota has to improve on their next Sienta. So let's go and have a look. Alright, so now on this car, right, surprisingly for Toyota, only the driver's side has automatic windows, okay? For all the rest of the windows, the passenger windows are not automatic. Paddings here are leather, okay? So as this side as well, this is leather as well. From here until this part, right, all these things are plastics, so it actually adds to a bit of cheapness to the car. And yep, so only these two things are leather, the rest are plastics, okay? They could have done better, as I said before. Just open up bigger so that we can put things easier. So at the back here, you can also press these buttons to open the doors, okay? And then I think that this is for the lane departure alert, okay? And then this is maybe, I don't know, maybe this is for the fog lamp, automatic fog lamp. And this is the button to deactivate or activate your frontal collision assist, okay? So you get push start, which is a very nice touch. You can see some chrome linings here that runs from this end all the way to the other end. Your handbrake is actually a foot brake, right? And then I don't see any extra components here, right? But these things are plastic. The buttons, right, they feel good enough. These are rubberized materials, okay? They feel smooth enough. And then for here you get some textured piano black materials, okay? And then you get some beautiful chromes over here as well, right? So for the driver's seat, right, you do not get any power adjustments, but this is a good thing because basically power adjustments, right, they may spoil faster, okay? For mechanical ones, they are going to last a longer time, okay? So these are signs of reliability, right? And then I'm going to show the tire pressure over here. The rim size is actually 15-inch and everything is Japanese. I don't know what are they talking about. Everything here inside the cabin, right, it has an orange theme. Why? Because the stitchings here, right, they're actually finished in orange, okay? And then as I mentioned before, the steering wheel, you can see some orange lines there as well. And to be honest, this is a car for young families. Like if you are a father who is 30 years old, I think that this car is actually very suitable because the sitting position, right, is actually quite comfortable. You can see that some bolsterings here are there to support your shoulder blades, and then for the headrest it is actually long enough as well. And even if your children are already something like 175 cm tall, there's actually going to be more than enough headroom for anyone who is 175 cm tall. So from here, when I'm sitting like this right now, okay, basically you can see that the seats are not long enough to support my thigh. You're able to slide your feet below the seat, okay? What this means is that you're able to sit in quite a reclining, comfortable position, okay? So you don't have to actually be in a squatting position all the time. Being the first one is eco button, the second one is EV, okay? And then for the third one, right, it basically shows you a speaker with a car. I think that means the internal alarm system, maybe. And then of course you get the ESC button right there. I actually don't know why from last year until now I keep reviewing a Toyota car. You can see that here you get a very special orange line, okay? It continues on the steering wheel as well, can you see that? And it also extends around this side of the dashboard. And here you get some rubberized patterns over here. If you move this thing, right, basically you can see that you get more storage area. And then again, all these paddings, they are finished in orange, okay? It looks pretty deep inside, right? Oh, sorry. Can you hear that everything here is molded in plastics? Okay, can you hear that? It's very loud. But the thing is that the plastics, the surface is actually okay. You see that you get some textures over here, right? And then for this part, you can see that Toyota made some effort to put some chrome painting over here. And yep, you can see that over here the gear knob side, right, this is finished in chrome, this is finished in silver, okay? And then you can see that there's something very interesting here because it goes like this. It goes from P, R, N, D, and B. I don't know what is B. Probably this is something like a low gear selection or something like sports mode. I think that it is trying to show you the time, okay? And then if here you get a hook which says that you can only hook something of a maximum weight or maximum mass of 3 kg. You get some leather stitching right here. And is this leather? Yep, it is. But I think that this part, right, this seating is rather something like PVC instead, because it's a cheap car, so you don't actually get real leather. I find that the seats are actually supportive enough. My legroom is adequate. It is enough. Okay, but the thing is that my butt starts from this part, okay, and you can see that from here it runs all the way to my knee. And then the problem here that I encountered is that the seat base is actually not long enough. Toyota can actually make the seat base a bit longer if they want to enhance the seating comfort. And then here, this is how we open the glove box. So you press this button, and good thing enough, it comes down in a gradual manner. The storage space is not actually very big, but it is okay for small families, right? And here you get some little storage to put your phone. And why I say your phone, because you basically get a power socket right here. Okay, 12 volts and 120 watts. The headroom is about this much, right? You can see that it's actually spacious in here, because given that this is an MPV, okay, so basically you can see that from down here your space goes all the way up until this section of the car. Okay, and of course you don't get any sunroof, because if you add a sunroof here, this car is going to cost a lot of money. The meter is basically digital, as I mentioned in my earlier video, and you can see that even though this part is digital, right, you get a needle there, which is actually for your speed, and this is basically for your multi-info display, right? So now I have my front passenger door opened, right? So I'm just going to open the rear door. You just push this thing, okay, and it will beep one time, right? And when it beeps finish, okay, when it opens finish, right, basically what you can see here is that okay, so basically you can see that even though your starting door is open, right, they also show you another orange lighting over there to indicate that a door is open. Okay, the interesting thing is that it actually extends from the speakers all the way to this end. But however, I realized that the entrance, right, the entrance can actually be better, because basically you can see that they designed this door pocket to look like this. It curves down, okay. Instead, I prefer Toyota to actually lower down this storage floor, okay. They can actually lower this down, and then for here they can actually create an opening like this, okay. Not a luxury car, so you don't expect too many good things from this interior. You know, you get very nice cup holders over here. There's some extra storage below the aircon controls. You can see that you can put many of your small stuff right here. And unfortunately, this car is not like Nissan Serena, because in the Serena, right, basically you have an extra storage space right here. You can actually push it and something comes out. For this minivan, right, you actually don't get this kind of luxury. But then again, the Serena is not a luxury car. Being the driver's seat, being the passenger seat, so in the middle, right, you don't actually get a normal compartment space like normal sedan cars or normal hatchbacks. But what you get is that you can actually walk through from the driver's side all the way to the back. Okay, I'll go to the back later on. But what you can see is that the owner, right, the owner put some pretty nice stuff here. So basically they put, you know, something like a storage box here, and then they'll even put a dustbin right here. Legroom is plentiful. Okay, I get about this much of legroom. So this is the dashboard. The interior design is actually quite modern, I would say that. Actually, some of us Malaysians, right, we are actually more than 175 cm tall. So what this means is that basically for longer journeys, right, basically you may not be able to sit inside here comfortably. To move the seat in front, okay, and then you see that I still get some leg room. I get about this much after I move the seat all the way to the front, and let's see how much of leg room we get at the back. Now I have this seat moved all the way to the front, okay, and imagine this, right, so you can see that from this part, okay, imagine if you have the seat mounted over here, okay, and then this is how much of leg room that you get. So it is quite spacious. If you're very sincere, you know, and then you move all the way to the front, and then this is how much of leg room that the third row is able to get. But if you are a selfish person, okay, like this invisible guy right here, basically you can see that the leg room over here, right, is going to be quite limited. Okay, I don't want to sit at the back of here because I think that it is going to be very, very tight. Moving this seat to the front is basically done with a pulley over here. Okay, this thing. So you just move it. Okay, then there's an extra thing. This is basically the headrest of the third row seat that I folded down. Okay. Oh, fuck. This is cumbersome. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Oh, okay. Please subscribe to my channel. It is basically not enough for you guys to just watch my videos and become like a passerby and just leave my videos like this. If you like my videos, if you find something fruitful about my reviews, please give me thumbs up, okay? And please subscribe to my channel, because basically without your support, I'm no one, okay? So please do all these things, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, cheers.